It is once again everyone's favorite time. Pre-release, we have some Paradox Rift, the newest set, the fourth set of the Scarlet and Violet era. So I'm going to crack into this. As usual, if you're new here, don't forget to smash that like, comment down below, and subscribe for more Pokemon content and whatever else might happen here in the future. Been doing a lot of variety gaming over on Twitch. Drop me a follow, link down in the description below. Been playing a lot of different stuff, having a lot of fun with the community. So come hang out over there for some variety stuff. But yeah, so if you've never been here before for this, I break this open. We go through the deck itself and the booster packs and see what I would personally change with the deck to play in your pre-release. Potentially, some places may have more competitive prizing for pre-releases, so you may be inclined to perform a little bit better and play a little bit better. So we'll see what happens. As always, I love sealed format. Sometimes it's the only time for some of these cards to actually get any love whatsoever. We do have our insert here talking about building tips, but of course we do all of this here. And here is the set list. We'll just slow roll for this for everyone to take a look at momentarily. A lot of new Pokemon EXs. We have the new Paradox Pokemon, tons of secret rares, ultra rares. We have technical machines coming back into the TCG for the first time in a long time. And we'll just dive right in. Our promo is going to be the Chi-Yu, 110 HP, and we have Flare Bringer. Attach up to 2 Fire Energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and Mega Fire of Envy, 50 plus 90 if one of your Pokemon were knocked out in the opponent's last turn. So let's dive into the deck and see what we can do. Of course, the code cards aren't live yet, so there's no reason for me to give them away. So we already have our promo card. Here we have our Trainer's Tips card, talking about Chi-Yu and Gliscopod, so this must be what the deck is. A little bit of art on the back. We have the Iron Valiant there. So we've got a handful of Water Energy, handful of Fire. We have 3 non-foil Chi-Yu. So it's the pre-release promo, and it should be a holo in the set, so that's how you get an exclusive version here. Same with Gliscopod. We have 3 of those non-holo rare variants. We've got 3 Wimpod to go with the Gliscopod. Let's take a look at these real quick. Wimpod, 70 HP. With the attack hide, flip a coin of heads during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage from attacks onto this Pokemon, and then gnaw for 20. But you're just going to evolve it into this Gliscopod here, 140 HP with Powerful Cross, 20x, 20 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. So they get a big hand. It does a lot of damage for 1. Not too bad in sealed play. And for 2 water and a colorless waterfall for 130. Not my favorite thing. And we have our future Pokemon here. Iron Bundle has this cool, like, techno pattern on the right. We have Hyper Blower for the ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. They do choose. So keep that in mind. It's not like a boss's orders gusting effect. Then you have Refrigerated Stream for 80 for 1 water and 2 colorless. The defending Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon. It can attack during your opponent's next turn. If you can get this set up potentially in pre-release, it does force them to attack with things like basic Pokemon. And we do have yet another basic. We have Iron Moth, 130 HP future Pokemon. The ability Thermal Reactor. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active, you move any number of Fire Energy from your other Pokemon to it. So it's kind of like Weird Ear V, if you've been keeping up with the meta and playing like Lugia. Kind of a similar ability there. We've seen that a lot in time with like Heatrans and so many other cards. And we have Heat Ray for 2 fire and a colorless 120. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Heat Ray, so it just kind of like locks itself out of the attack. Continuing on, we have a baby Pokemon. I haven't seen these in quite some time. Since last set, we had a couple drop through, but here we have Elekid, 30 HP basic, and it can attack for free, so the symbol. It's not a colorless energy, it's just a grayed out cost, so it doesn't need energy to attack. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so it just kind of like sets up damage somewhere. Potentially interesting. We also have a copy of Magby, 30 HP baby Pokemon as well. Scorching Heater for free. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, even if it's knocked out, put 6 damage counters in the attacking Pokemon. Could be potentially interesting in sealed play. And then we have our brick of trainers. So let's start. We have Bill's Transfer out of 151, interesting inclusion. Clavel from Paldea Evolved. Larry, new supporter card here. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon, reveal them, then put them into your hand. If tails, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, reveal it, and then put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So it's like capturing Aroma for 2 Pokemon. So kind of interesting. Definitely will get played in the pre-release format for sure. We also have Mela here, another new supporter card. You can use this card only if one of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. So kind of like Raihan if you've been around for a while. Attach a basic Fire Energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. If you do, draw 6 until you have 6 cards in your hand. So just draw until you have 6. I don't know why I said draw 6 until you have 6. I'm a ding dong. It's been a while since I've made a video, so bear with me here. Really cool for any of these. And technically, this doesn't have to go onto a fire type Pokemon, so you could potentially use it to load up your Golisopod. We also have our default generic draw 3 Nimona. We have Parasol Lady, another new card here. Shuffle your hand of your deck, then draw 4 cards. If you go second and it's your first turn, draw 8 cards instead. Kind of feels like Lily almost from back in the day. And here we have Earthen Vessel, an ancient card from the past. You can use this card only if you discard another card from your hand. I also really love this like rock texture on the right here. Really cool. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Really good. It's basically Capacious Bucket for every type, but you discard a card. This is going to get a lot of play in the standard format. Of course, we have a Nest Ball to grab a basic from the deck. Ultra Ball to grab an evolution by discarding 2 cards, and that is the 40 card build and battle deck. However, you get 4 booster packs, so I'm going to go ahead and move these to the side, and we'll crack into the booster packs. All right, so decks moved out of the side. We have one of each artwork here, the Garchomp, the Armarouge, the Roaring Moon, and the Iron Valiant. We'll just start here with the Garchomp pack. And what's cool about pre-release is you can break the rule of 4 if you've been playing for a while, the standard format. When you build a deck, you can only include 4 cards of the same name, but when you come down to play in pre-releases, that doesn't apply. Anything you get in your box, you're able to use in your 40 card deck. So we have a Dwebble, Horsey, Joltik, Loudred, Crocalor, Ambipom, Snorlax Doll. Very interesting. If this card is in your hand when you're setting up to play, you may put it face down on the active spot on your bench, as if it was 120 HP basic colorless Pokemon. You can do this only when you are setting up to play. At any time during your turn, you may discard this card from play. Cannot be affected by special conditions and can't retreat. If it's knocked out, your opponent can't take any prize cards forward. This will maybe get some love in standard. Some decks are going to have to play 4, but if you pull one of these for your pre-release, I think this is a pretty good card to put into your deck. It gives you time to set up your other Pokemon and forces your opponent to have some sort of either gusting card or to go through this before you're ready to start attacking, and they're not going to take a prize. And you play in a 40 card 4 prize deck, it's more likely that you're going to start with this. We have a reverse foil Seadra, reverse foil Parasol Lady, and we got an Iron Valiant EX. This thing is absolutely insane. 220 HP, future Pokemon Psychic type with the ability Tachyon Bits once during your turn. When this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. We're going to see a lot of cool decks with this in the standard format, but this is also potentially interesting in this pre-release format. However, we have Fire and Water. You should just be able to grab whatever energy cards you need from the area around you. So we have Leaf Blade here for 2 Psychic and a colorless. It does 200 damage during your next turn. This Pokemon can't attack, but really cool nonetheless. Definitely excited to have that as our first hit in our kit here. Continuing on, we have a Galvantula. Mantike, first time it's been printed in a long time. There's only been 1 Mantike card in English for like 15 years, it feels like. We have Pansage, Call for Family, potentially interesting to use in your build and battle deck. We have Mine in here. If you have Plusle in play, when your opponent attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. The effect of Buddy Pulse doesn't stack. We have Tatsugiri with Water Gun and Survival Strategy. Search your deck for 2 cards and put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. You may switch this Pokemon from your bench Pokemon. Oh, so in our deck, we could potentially use this Survival Strategy with a Snorlax Doll if we set up that way. We got another Earthen Vessel, really good card. Another Iron Bundle. Toadschool. We have Reverse Foil Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. The Ancient Pokemon this card is attached to gets 60 more HP, recovers from all special conditions, and can't be affected by special conditions. We do have that, I think the Moth, potentially, so we could play that. And we have a Holo Rare Thievul here with the ability Rob and Run. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may have your opponent reveal their hand and then choose 2 energy cards you find there and shuffle them into your opponent's deck. I don't know how I feel about that. But potentially we're going to definitely be looking at some of these cards. And the Buoyant Healing 120 on the Mantike is maybe a little interesting. So we've definitely already 2 packs in, and we have a lot of playable stuff to add into the mix here. 2 packs left though for this first Build 'em battle box. All right, we have a Lipard, Wimpod, Elekid, Tough, Countercatcher, awesome reprint. This is going 100% into the pre-release deck. You can use this card if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. Switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. It's basically, if you're behind, you get to play boss's orders on an item card. So that's 100% going into the deck. We have a Masquerain. We have another Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, Reverse Foil Porygon, Reverse Magby, and a Holo Rare Latios. Nothing too crazy here. Collide and Luster Purge. Just some generic damage. So I don't think any of these commons are going to do us any good. But the Countercatcher, 100%. All right, final pack of this Build 'em Battle kit. And I will definitely be opening a lot of packs of Paradox Rift in a video in the coming days. So make sure you come back to the channel and check that out. We have Blitzel, Bounsweet, Phoebus, Apom, Ambipom, Snorlax Doll, Tinkaton, Simipour, if you have all three of the monkeys, ignore all energy, but that's not going to happen for us. We have Nickit, and a second Iron Valiant EX. What is this kit? Oh my god, there's no way this is real. Okay, so Iron Valiant pre-release destruction. We might just be playing the Snorlax dolls and then using Iron Valiant to move around, put damage counters, hit for 200. Oh man, we're gonna have to cook here. So we had the safe route of just potentially playing the Chi-Yus, the Glissopods, maybe the Moth, maybe the bundle. We have the Wimpods for the Glissopods. The babies, I think we're going to cut the babies. That sounds wrong. Please don't cut any babies. I don't condone violence. So the Iron Valiants, though, really, really strong card. I would love to get him into the deck, but that's just so brutal. When it moves from the bench to the active spot, you get to put 2 damage counters down. It's only during your turn. I notice a pattern between the future cards that a lot of them are about moving around. The booster capsules are ancient, and we didn't get any ancient cards, so we're definitely just going to go ahead and remove these. Technically, the Earthen Vessel is an ancient card, but it's not going to benefit us the way the capsule would for a Pokemon. I would love to play these, but we need Psychic Energy. And Glisopod, honestly, not many people are going to have a big hand. I think we just cut the Glissopods all together and see what else we can potentially do. We got a Tough. We got that Tatsugiri with Survival Strategy. I don't know how I feel about the Glissopod. I really don't think I like it. But we have the bundles. We have the Moth. We can use Chi-Yu to get energy loaded up. If we cut the water out and grab some Psychic, I think that's what we're going to rock with. Is I need to definitely get a couple more Pokemon in. We have 2 bundles. We have 2 Snorlax dolls. Really good to start. Give us some time. We have 2 Parasol Ladies. Potentially another really good start card. 4 Chi-Yu. If we're going to play Psychic Energy, I would like to play that Latios, but at the same time, it's not that great. I don't know if we got any like good colorless stuff. We could play Ambipom. I did believe we pulled an Apom and 2 Ambipom, but only 1 Apom, so that's not that great. But I will say this is a really solid kit. Again, the safest bet always is to just follow what your trainer tips card says and not have to worry about editing the deck if you're not comfortable. This could come back to bite me, but we'll find out. So I'm going to open up another one and build another deck, and then we'll have another video in the next couple of days where these 2 decks will go head to head. So hang tight. All right, second build and battle deck. Try and break the plastic here. And we'll do this one a little bit faster than the other. And we got another Chi-Yu. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to axe the Chi-Yu so we don't have a mirror match. And we're going to dive into another one here. So we'll just set these aside. We'll void that one off. And if there's another Chi-Yu in here, I'm going to be a little sad. But I'd like to get a second promo so we can have a little bit of a different matchup. And it's another Chi-Yu. Okay. We're going to have to just proceed along. If this is another Chi-Yu, I will be a little salty that 4 out of this case are all going to be Chi-Yu promo cards. So, all right, there we go. We have Xatu. Perfect. Now, if only we got Xatu with the Iron Valiant, that would have been a lot better. So Xatu, what you can do is you can attach a Psychic Energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon and then draw 2 cards. And you can do that as many times as you have Xatu. So this says Chi-Yu Xatu, so we'll just go through here. We have a lot of Psychic Energy to go with the Xatu, and looks like a lot of Fire Energy to go with the Chi-Yus. And we also have a Sparthra with the ability Stance. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may prevent all damage and effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then you have Glittering Eyes, 70 plus. If Tulip is in your discard pile, it does 70 more damage. So we have 2 of those. And we have 2 Fiddle. We have 2 Natu and another Xatu. Iron Moth, Elekid, Magby are all repeats. Going through, we have Claveligan, Melegan, Parasol Lady. We have Jock to grab evolutions. We have 1 copy of Tulip. We have Youngster, Mesagoza, Earthen Vessel, and Ultra Ball. So this is pretty solid out of the gate. Let's open up the 4 packs. I would have loved to have 2 Iron Valiants come out of the packs with the Xatu promo, but maybe we'll get lucky and we rip some more here. So we have Phoebus, Apom, Galvantula, Mantike, Defiance Vest. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, the Pokemon this card is attached to takes 40 less from attacks. Definitely going to consider getting that into play. We have Durant. We have Technical Machine, Turbo Energize. This is a really awesome card. The Pokemon that this is attached to can use the attack on this card. It gets discarded at the end of your turn, even if you don't use it or not. Turbo Energize for 1 colorless. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like, then shuffle your deck. Really good card. We have a Gourgeist here. Startling Pumpkin if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon. Discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand. We have Doublade and a Holo Rare Zekrom. Nothing too crazy there. But the Turbo Energize is definitely going to be a thing here. So if this gets any sort of like big colorless attacker, and these packs are like Psychic or whatever. We have another Natu, really cool. We have Purloin here, Mienfoo, Ferroseed, Steenie, Counter Catcher, definitely going in the deck. We have Absol, takes colorless energy, might get to play this here. 100 HP, basic Pokemon. We have Draw Awareness. You may discard any number of cards from your hand until you have 4 or fewer. Draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. Then we have Enhanced Blade for 20 plus. If this Pokemon has a tool card attached, to 60 more damage. Interesting. We have a Pansear with Call for Family. We have Cursed Duster. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from attack from your opponent's Pokemon, discard a random card from their hand. Interesting. That kind of goes really cool with the Absol. And here we have more Peko. In a Hungry Hurry, if this Pokemon has no energy attached, it has no retreat cost. For 2 dark, you have Energizer Wheel. Does 70 damage. Move 2 dark energy from this Pokemon to another one of your bench Pokemon. And of course, our energy off the back. 2 packs left. I don't know if we're going to be able to cook some hits out of this one, so let's see what happens here. Coming down to the wire, we have a Pansage. We have Minun once again, Snorunt, Knackle Stack, Wug Trio. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon tool cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Interesting. We have Techno Radar for future. You can use this card if you discard another card from your hand. Search your deck for 2 future Pokemon, reveal them, then put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. I don't think we're going to have any future unless we get some hits. We have another Steenie. We have another Techno Radar. We have Porygon 2 and another Xatu. Okay, so we're definitely playing extra Zatus here. We have a 3-3 Xatu line. If only we had a big attacker. This is the last pack, so hopefully we get something here to add to the mix here. We've got a Gibble, Blitzel, Panport, Call for Family on that, interesting as well. Bounsweet, Masquerain, we have Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. We have Orthworm, Reverse Chi-Yu, potentially going on the deck. Latios might actually be our attacker. And we have Brute Bonnet, an ancient Pokemon on our rare slot. So no big hits in this one, but I think this deck might just be a little bit better than the other one. So we have Toxic Powder. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached, you may make both active Pokemon poison. And then you have Rampaging Hammer for 120, 2 Dark, and a colorless. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So we'll see what we end up doing with this deck here. All right. Sorry for the abrupt cut. I had to take care of something real quick. But yeah, so the Brute Bonnet, I don't think we're going to put it in here. But we're looking like we might be using this Latios, the Zatus, the Absol to swing for 80 plus that. The Spartha most likely is just going to be our main attacker as well. I think we're going to cut the Chi-Yus and the fire stuff and just play pure Psychic with this one. So hopefully you enjoy these sort of openings. So again, you want to assemble 40 card decks. Again, it's super easy if you just want to ignore editing and remove cards. You can, you don't have to, but you should follow this if you're not super comfortable in editing the deck. But hopefully you enjoyed these 2 looks into these build and battle kits. Again, I'll have some more booster packs coming in the future in the next couple of days, and expect a build and battle video as well, probably the day after this video goes live. But that'll do it for me. Much love. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of these cards and what you're excited to pull for your pre-release. Hopefully you get some hits. Hopefully you have a double hit pack just like that last kit. But much love. See y'all later. Take it easy. Peace.